breaking news.
Video this morning that shows what happens in the moments before Alex Pretti was shot and killed by Border Patrol. Accounts of what happened from ICE and Secretary Kristi Noem differ sharply from eyewitness views and even the videos. Then breaking news, a temporary restraining order barring the Department of Homeland Security from destroying evidence. What we know this morning about the latest lawsuit filed alleging DHS mishandled evidence at the crime scene. And who was Alex Pretti? New video shows him giving a eulogy for a veteran who passed away, as we hear from a friend talking about his kindness. Good morning, everyone. We continue to follow the breaking news from yesterday morning, where Border Patrol shot and killed a man in South Minneapolis. Here is what we know right now. 37-year-old Alex Pretti was the man killed by Border Patrol, but there are contradictions in stories of how this happened. We have new video this morning. For the first time, we are seeing the minutes before the killing of Alex Pretti. We see an altercation between Pretti and Border Patrol agents. At that time, Pretti had his phone in his hand recording. Pretti comes face to face with a federal agent and puts his hands up. Agents then detain someone. Moments later is the video now viral, where Pretti was shot and killed. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the officer acted in self-defense and claims Pretti approached Border Patrol officers with a handgun. But videos from the scene show that Pretti was holding a cell phone, not a gun, when he was shot. Plus, sworn declarations submitted in federal court by witnesses contradict key points of the events we are hearing from federal officials. Now, new this morning, a judge overnight issued a temporary restraining order barring DHS from altering or destroying evidence from the shooting. This comes after the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension filed a new lawsuit alleging DHS mishandled evidence at the crime scene. And on Monday, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison says he and his office will argue in court to end the ongoing immigration surge in Minnesota. The city of Minneapolis is also filing a declaration in hopes of a judge issuing a temporary restraining order to put a pause on the operation. All of this was caught on camera, of course, from multiple angles as Border Patrol pepper sprayed and then shot 37-year-old Alex Pretti. It happened near Nicollet and 26th Street in the Whittier neighborhood of South Minneapolis around 9 yesterday morning. The shooting follows weeks of tensions over a surge in ICE enforcement actions. The Department of Homeland Security says Border Patrol agents were looking for an undocumented man wanted for a violent assault when Pretti approached the agents with a semi-automatic handgun. Video available right now does not show Pretti moving towards agents with a gun.
This individual went and impeded their law enforcement operations, attacked those officers, had a weapon on him and multiple dozens of rounds of ammunition, wishing to inflict harm on these officers, coming brandishing like that and impeding their work that they were doing.
And I call on all Americans to see the decency that this state is exhibiting and the horrific cruelty, unprofessional, absolute abomination that is passing for what these ICE agents are doing on our streets.
The Hennepin County Sheriff and Minneapolis Mayor asked the governor to deploy the Minnesota National Guard to aid and reinforce law enforcement. We saw them arrive on the scene last night. We will dig into the video we have been able to compile in a moment, but first, as thousands came out for vigils and protests, Governor Tim Walz deployed the National Guard in Minneapolis to assist police. Members wearing yellow traffic vests were seen forming a perimeter around the area where the shooting occurred. They were also spotted over at the Whipple building. Frankie McLister joins us now in Minneapolis, where Alex Pretti was shot and killed. Frankie, what is the scene like right now?
Somber, Esme. There's a large crowd here, just very quiet. A man close nearby has a saxophone out here, and actually you just missed the Minnesota BCA, the state investigative agency, moving in here for about, I'd say, 10 minutes or so, and it was very peaceful as they moved in, as a lot of people are hoping they can get a lot of information on what occurred yesterday. Now, you mentioned that the National Guard was here, and they were, but I want to mention that the state posted this that you'll see on your screen right now just recently, saying that they've cleared the vehicle perimeter that MPD and the National Guard had in place throughout the night, saying that they say streets here need to be clear for emergency vehicles, and added that overnight activity was calm and it was peaceful. And take a look at the map right here. We'll show you that kind of just had a good perimeter to give you a perspective of where things looked like. Now, last night, the city began that perimeter of Minneapolis police and the National Guard, and they blocked both agencies' select entry points into much of the neighborhood we're standing at right now. Now, the majority of that perimeter along Franklin Avenue had both MPD squad cars and military vehicles. However, it was depending on the spot. For instance, when our crew was along West 28th, only MPD was present there, but the city said access to the area was limited at one point to residents, workers, and other essential needs. And we heard from a few people that last night about what they made of all of this.
It's definitely just not necessary. I think the police could be put to different uses. I think they're just not needed. I think they haven't been very helpful in general. So I don't think it's here to protect the community. I think they're just here for lights and whistles.
The police are going to come here and, show that they're here to support us. We want them to do just that and, just not stand there and, look like a bystander.
So I figured me and Grant, who's behind the camera, will kind of like set the scene for you, what it looks like right now. Again, we're across the street from Glam Doll Donuts as I step out of the frame, where Alex was shot and killed yesterday on Nicollet, just south of East 26th Street. Right now, you're looking at a just growing memorial. We were here last night, and the memorial was just beginning. You can see a lot of candles that we saw around the city arriving here, many showing their respects with flowers and even just simply painting his name, and photos of him can be seen here too. And if you're just joining us, I do want to mention that the BCA was just here moments ago, just about 10 minutes ago. We're unsure of what they came to collect. I observed one of their agents taking photos, but it was very peaceful as they moved in, as a lot of the community is concerned on how the investigation will go.
All right, Frankie, thank you so much. We appreciate that report. Now, as the community grieves the loss of Alex Pretti, those who knew him say he was a person who helped others.
Today we remember that freedom is not free.
That is video shared with WCCO from Mac Randolph, who says Alex Pretti was his father's ICU nurse. The video shows Pretti giving him his final salute at the VA after he passed away. Pretti worked as an intensive care nurse at the VA. His parents tell the Associated Press he was born in Illinois and raised in Wisconsin. They describe him as an avid outdoorsman. You can see him here hiking and biking. Pretti did own a handgun and had a legal permit to carry. He did not have a criminal background, just 3 minor traffic tickets. Heather Zielinski has known him for 2 decades and says he stood up for what he believed in and lost his life for it.
Absolutely, he was standing up for someone. Absolutely, he was standing up for that woman that he was trying to help up. He was trying to help her get out of that situation.
His parents released a statement saying Alex's last thought and act was to protect a woman, and that Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family, friends, and the veterans he cared for as an ICU nurse. Well, we've heard from both federal and local leaders, and again, very contrasting takes about what happened in this shooting. So we wanted to give you a closer look at what the videos of the shooting really do show. We've slowed some of them down and pushed in to give you a better view. We want to warn you, some of the video is hard to watch.
This video shows Alex Pretti face to face with a federal agent on Nicollet Avenue. He's holding a phone as the agent pushes him toward the sidewalk. Another angle shows Pretti walking into the street, helping to direct traffic. When an agent pushes a woman into a snowbank, he goes to help. That's when the agent begins spraying Pretti in the face. It's when Pretti goes to help the woman again, several agents grab him and throw him down. From this angle, you can see Pretti being held down. You can see an agent in a gray jacket approach with empty hands, while other agents appear to be hitting Pretti. The man in gray appears to pull something from Pretti's waist. Then, the first shot. You can hear at least 10 shots after that.
What did you just do?
The agents back away, but return. In this video, you can hear what they are saying. Derek James, WCCO News.
Now, gun rights attorney Rob Dorr with the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus says the footage we just showed you suggests Pretti may have already been disarmed before shots were fired.
What was most telling to me is the video shows that just seconds before the shots are heard being fired, it looks like an agent in a gray jacket is retrieving a firearm that matches the firearm that DHS put out earlier this morning from Mr. Pretti's waist, indicating, at least to me, that there's a reasonable belief that he was not armed at the time that he was shot.